You get yourself into a seated position. We'll just start off with a few little rounds of breath. Exhaling all the breath out. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Beautiful. Next breath. Just taking a little simple breath. Exhale, pumping. So you're going to see if you can almost make a sort of sneezing sound. So you're like, so you're just practicing sneezing out of the nose, just gentle pumping breath. What we're doing with that is just continuing to get a little bit of diaphragmatic awareness. So as we exhale, beautiful. And last one, exhale all the breath out. Close your eyes and inhale. Whatever you've been doing today, girls and boys, just let it go. Deep exhale out of the mouth. Next one with the lion's breath. Beautiful. Try and make it a little bit bigger so you spread your whole heart. Welcome, everyone. Wake up your heart, your head. Beautiful. One more round of lion's breath. Big roar. Very nice. Next breath, just let your head roll to one side. Just stretch out the neck, and if you like, wiggle your fingers away, walking them away from you on the mat. Gently stretching through that whole side of the neck. We spend a lot of time putting tension there, holding our heads up, holding all those big thoughts up so that they can spread around our bodies, make us move, make us talk, make things happen. Then changing sides, let the head come to the other side. Just rest the head easy over to the side. Walk the fingers out if it's helpful. And just get nice, big, long stretch right down to your little finger. You're not pulling, just gently dropping the head towards the side. Breathe that for 2 more breaths. Try and get the fingers down or to walk away on that other arm. Breathing and stretching. Inhale, bring it back up. From here, just let your hands come around your head if you can. And then press your head into your hands and look up as if you are holding it, lifting it, extending it. And we're just going to gently rotate our upper body to one side. Just holding there and exhaling out of the mouth. Again. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale to twist. Inhale to lengthen. And exhale to twist. Bring it back to center and exhale to the other side. Inhale. Exhale. Whatever you've got going on in your life today, you're on your mat, so you can close your eyes when you're breathing. Or keep them open. And then on the exhale, let the head bow in. Just stretching out the back of the neck. And if it helps to do a little rock side to side, just to feel a little bit softer, go ahead. And just from there, begin to start to move the head from side to side, nose looking under your armpit almost. Just to massage through the back of those occipital muscles that hold us up. Next breath, elbow down to one side. Way. Just then again, opening through the whole side waist. Beautifully done. 2 more rounds. One to the side. Just as far as it feels comfortable and you're confident you can get back up again. Don't go too far. Bring yourself back up. Next breath, take your arms behind you. And just bring the feet forward and let yourself just rock through the hips. So the feet go from side to side. Get really good at this, like that walking semi across the floor with your bottom, dragging you forward. Just a few. So widening out space in the hips, making the joints lubricated, ready for movement. On the next breath, bring your bottom back, bring the soles of your feet together. We'll just take a nice little Om today. So bring your hands in front of your heart. And then exhaling. Setting your intention, just 2 more Oms. Oh. Oh. Beautiful. Next breath. Let's take both your knees onto the floor and come up to tabletop if you can. Ignore my leg flicking, that's just me moving around. From here, we're just going to roll through the spine, make space and articulate all the way around. And if this is difficult, you can do it seated. If that's easier for you to imagine moving in space, tipping the pelvis around. But if it's easier, if it's possible, try and do it on all fours. Get the spine to move at least a few rounds in one direction and then the other. So just softly getting that lubricated spine movement all through the body, learning to isolate each part of it, to find it, to be able to move it. In the next breath, we're just going to see if we can lift our right hand and our left knee ever so slightly. Maybe they stay on the floor, maybe you lift them up. If you're feeling adventurous, they're both off the floor. That's on opposite sides. Left knee, right arm. Lifting those, holding there, just hold. Pull in through the belly a little bit, feel a little strong. Next breath, you're going to see if you can touch them together underneath you. So touching your palm to your knee, and then extend. If this isn't happening and everything's on the floor, same action, just tapping with knee down on the floor. Either moving full way, or just leaving it on the floor and tapping and extend it. Whatever's working for you, another 3. Bringing the knee in and out in a variation that works. 2 and 1. Hold there. If you can, and you were there, lift the knee up a little tiny bit. Perfect. Breathe. And exhale, put it down. Just take a nice little wiggle through your shoulders. Make them all soft. And if you like, you can see if you imagine taking your nose forward all the way to the floor. Just for 3 times. It might look like that because there's not quite as much strength as we thought we would have. And when you go forward, you think you're going to tip into the floor, but it takes a little bit of trust. So maybe you got 1 more of those in you, you touch the floor, or you just thought about it and then panicked and came back. Whatever you did, enjoy it. Next breath, let's take the opposite side. So left hand, stabilize, come to the fingertips. Take the right leg back. Pull in through the belly as you extend the leg. Beautiful. And hold there, just breathing, enjoying. Spread the fingers on the hand that's down. If the knee isn't high, then just work on lifting it a millimeter, that's fine. Whatever you can do, enjoy it. 1 more breath. We're going to go through those moving transitions, touching and extending. touching and extending. It's amazing how these little things add up to be a little bit more full on very quickly. Just 2 more. Extending and tapping. Last one. And tap. Place it down. And from there, if you can, just see, this time we'll lift the knees off the floor just a couple of centimeters, maybe an inch. Just a little tiny bit. Get light in the feet and the knees, so no longer touching the floor. You can slide hard underneath them. Now, if it's possible, some of you may still be putting your knees down and thinking about lifting them. If it's possible, you can see if you can lift the knees and one hand. The knees and the other hand. The knees, one hand, the other hand. How about the knees and 1 foot? One hand, 1 foot, one hand, 1 foot. If none of this is happening, just do whatever you're doing. Do it. If you were pressing, so just another 3 rounds of opposite leg and foot, if you can, and put it down. Let's come to child's pose. Breathe. And just enjoy the experience of whatever you're doing in your practice. Don't have to be perfect. You don't have to be able to do everything I said. But each time you try and add those pieces together, that's the brain making a new pathway. Beautiful. Next breath, let's come back to that tabletop. From there, tuck your toes, push your bottom back, and come into a down dog. Exhale, stretch into each side, just rolling your bottom and bending one knee. Straighten one leg, bend the other. Another 3 times. Very good. Next breath, walk your feet up towards your hands. And whenever you get to a point where you can no longer have your hands flat on the floor, let your hands come to your shins, your calves, your thighs. Look forward, lengthen. Hollow the belly. Fold. No, knees are bent. Inhale. Come about halfway up. Lengthen through the torso. Draw the shoulders back. Exhale, fold. Inhale. Lengthen to halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway. Last time. Exhale to fold. Inhale to rise all the way up. Gaze to your thumbs. And as you exhale, palms down in front of your heart. Good. On the next breath, step sideways on your mat. We're just going to take the legs into the same position so they're both facing forward. From here, take your arms out and extend to one side. Maybe the right, maybe the left. Both feet are facing forward, so it's not quite Trikonasana, which is the triangle pose. It's just a stride waist stretch with a bit of a goddess. Inhale, bring yourself back up. And the other side. So just making space. Trying to equalize both sides of the body. You may not realize it, but we have favorites. I never thought I had a favorite arm, but apparently I do. And one is stronger than the other, in the same way as my legs are. So now if you take your toes and turn them slightly out, sink down in between. Beautiful. Then take, holding up the plate, arms. So imagining that you've got a plate in either arm. Try and keep your elbows at the same height as your shoulders. And from here, you're just going to see if you can lift your heels, lift your toes. Lift your heels, lift your toes. As you're doing that, you'll notice I'm getting closer to you. Lifting my heels, lifting my toes. If none of this is happening, just enjoy staying where you are. And try doing it backwards if you were going forwards and falling over. Just lifting your heels, lifting your toes, both together. And then getting wider. Beautiful. Just stay there, hold there for 2 more breaths. Inhale, strong deep breath, and then exhale. Fold down, touch your shins as you fold. Hollowing out and exhaling all the breath. Inhale to rise back up. Exhale to fold. Inhale to rise. And exhale to fold. Last one. Inhale to rise. And then we're going to just turn towards our right leg. Straighten your back leg. Bring the toes in so that they're facing towards the front corner on that side of your mat. Bend your front leg till it's a right angle. So that means it's flat shin, flat thigh, and a parallel shin to the sky. Inhale, arms up. Keep them ahead of your ears. And if that's too much, you can keep them in front of your heart. This is Warrior 1, Virabhadrasana A. Beautiful. One more breath. Beautiful. Next breath. Take one arm, same side as your front leg, up to the sky. Reach your other hand onto your shin and just stretch over towards the back leg side. Beautiful. Inhale up. Elbow to knee. Take the back arm straight line with your back leg. See if there's any way to extend it straight up. So you make a nice diagonal line through the whole body. Breathe here. 1, 2, 3. And then exhale. Let yourself come back to that center place with the bent knees or straight legs, whatever your body's asking for. From there, just holding and letting yourself slide a little bit if you're feeling adventurous, or just hanging if your body's tired. Just a few breaths of either a more active slide or a gentle hang. The next breath, we're going to just take ourselves all the way over to Warrior 1 at the back end. So over your left leg. Back toes turned to face forward slightly. Pelvis is facing straight up. Bend into your front leg. Next breath, arms stay in front of your ears. And bend. Just 2 more breaths. Try to ground through the outside edge of your back foot. That means little toes coming down. Next breath, take the arm to the inside of the shin and reach over towards the back leg side. Beautifully done. Breathing for 3, 2, and 1. Inhale, that elbow down. Back arm in line with your back hip. Bend a little more into the front knee. And extend that arm straight up and over your ear. Look up into your upper elbow if possible. Breathing in. Breathing out. We'll take a little breath here just to loosen the mind. Take a lion's breath. In whatever you're doing, whatever variations. Exhale. Inhale, bring yourself back up to center. This time, just taking a nice little twist. So when we bend into the right knee, we're going to bring our palms in front of our heart and see if we can take our opposite elbow towards the knee. Often this needs to be done by putting the back knee on the floor and then taking your opposite elbow over. If that's not necessary, you can keep the back leg high, then it becomes a little bit more of a teetery balance to stay up. Really good for the digestive system to get some sort of twist. Doesn't matter how deep, doesn't matter how much. One more breath. Exhale. Drop your back knee to the floor. And then either some of you will end up sitting down on your back heel or staying high up. Try to fold in over that front leg. It might be really far away. Wherever it is, make the toes come towards you on the front foot. Folding, breathing. So just making space with each breath. Don't add any ambitions, just be present with the sensations. Then exhale, bringing yourself back up. We'll take a low lunge for a moment. So that might be that both your arms come to the inside of that front knee, back knee's on the floor. You stay there. It might be that you can come to an elbow and breathe out heavily, sighing. Or maybe both elbows. Just 2 more breaths. If you need a lion's breath here, take it. Last one. Inhale, bring yourself all the way back up. Slow and steady wins the race. Bring yourself to center. And at center, see if you can grab hold of one or both hands, either interlacing or just holding elbows, taking yourself down into that forward fold, just so much as you don't fall over. So you've got hold of the elbows, make sure the hips are safe and they're not tipping forward. If you've done a forward roll without any arms, well done. Sorry about that. Next breath. Interlace. Hands get pulled all the way back up to help you up. We'll come to that twist at the other side. Palms in front of the heart. Might be that you can keep your back knee high. Might be that it has to come down. Opposite elbow into the knee. Deep twist, wherever you are. Creating fire in the belly, warmth. That just helps us dissolve any tensions and remove the toxins of waste when it gets stuck. One more breath. Inhale it back to center. Either straightening the leg with hands on the floor, or if your hands don't reach, sit back on that heel and just fold forward-ish over the front leg. Whatever's working. Make sure the toes are coming towards you on that front foot. Just breathe into your hamstrings, your groin, all the lovely muscles that want to say hello. Last breath. Inhale, bring yourself back to the front of your mat. Taking both hands to the inside. Now, it might be one elbow, might be no elbows, might be that you're still up here thinking, that's enough for today. Whatever you're working on, enjoy it. Again, take yourself down to elbows if that's a thing. Don't worry about it if it's not. Use big, long breaths. So we send that breath in, this oxygen into the muscles, deep in around the body. Telling it that we'd like to release. We're calm, we're safe. One more breath. Exhale. Slide that front foot back if you can. Come to kneeling. And just breathe there for a moment. If you want to, you can try and massage the shoulders just slightly back and soften here. On the next breath, we're just going to take a small back bend in a cobra. Be careful how you get into it, don't go too far. So tuck your toes so they're accessible. And from there, just taking your hands onto your lower back, lift the shoulders, lift the heart. So it's not just dropping back, it's more of a thinking of moving the pelvis forward that way. Beautiful. Now as you're lifting the whole heart up, think of lengthening the tailbone down, chest up, heart open. Head can go back if you feel safe, if there's nothing else going on. Otherwise, keep the head up. And if it feels like you want to see if your heels are accessible, go ahead, reach back for them. Breathe here, 2 more breaths. Opening and back bends is a really good nervous system refresh. So when it gets all tense, all tight, it tries to protect us, and our front side of our body gets tighter. So just that nice big opening. We'll do 2 more rounds. Whatever you've got, either toes tucked or released, either just breathing into it, going a little bit deeper this time, lifting the heart a little bit more, head back a little bit more, or staying where you were. Just here is good. May not feel like you're doing very much sometimes, but it's enough. If that's what your body wants or what you're comfortable with. Don't work to strain, especially not on the lower back. Inhale up. Try to remove the need to try and go into the worst extreme of both directions. Just stay in the kneeling position in between each round rather than going all the way down into child's pose if possible. Last one, whatever you like to do most, you can either go right back, use some thighs just to help lift you. Just a small motion. Doesn't have to be all the way back, doesn't have to be a big movement. Just a couple more rounds of whatever you're doing. Exhale. Come all the way forward into what's commonly called Anahata Asana, which means heart on the floor. Sometimes the heart comes to the floor, sometimes it hovers above. Sometimes also known as puppy pose. So that big happy tail in the air, just wagging because the free heart is allowed to flow. And then gently bring yourself down into your child's pose. From here, we'll just take a simple slight angle on those child's pose. So knees are slightly apart. Take it over to the right hand side. Just stretching through the whole side waist. Super long. This is really important to make space for the breath. So much of the tension comes from forgetting how to breathe properly and deeply. And just 2 more deep breaths, either exhaling out of the mouth or softly out of the nose. Walk the hands over to the other side. And just staying here for the 3 breaths. Go as far to the left as you can. And then gently letting yourself come all the way up to your belly. Just rise lengthways down onto your mat. From here, just take your head onto your hands. Turn your head to one side, maybe close your eyes. And just breathe deep into your lungs so you feel the breath and the body push into the earth and release. So each time the inhale pushes into your lungs, feel the whole back body widen and soften. If it helps to close your eyes, then do so. If it will help to do a couple of rounds of Brahmari, that nice exhaling honeybee sound, just to calm the nervous system again. Taking 10 rounds of honeybee breath. Just one. Soften, turn the head the other way if you like. Rest there for a few more moments. Just softening the whole body. With little body scans, starting at your toes, with your eyes closed. Just imagine your toes becoming soft and calm and wide and easy. All the muscles relaxing across your toes, your arch of your foot, the ball of your foot, the heel of your foot, on both sides. Like a wave of warmth and softness just rising up through the calves and the shins, the back of the knees, the thighs, the hips, the pelvis, the waist, the lower back, the mid back, the ribs, the chest, the shoulders, the arms, the hands, all becoming softer, like a wave of warmth just melting through the inner body, up through the back of the neck, across the hair, and through the eyebrows, the eyes soften and widen, the nose softens and widens, the tongue softens and widens, The jaw relaxes and lets go. The whole face is soft and calm. Just relax like that for a few moments. Be still. Be at peace. If you can stay there for longer, go ahead and enjoy your practice. Namaste, beautiful ones. Thank you very much.